among celebrities now. All the celebrities have trans kids, and they're coming out as non-binary
So they're
and whatever
special.
else. And then you listen to like Demi Lovato or whoever, and
that makes so much sense. All these celebrity kids who can't outgrow their parents' shadow are doing this so that they can have some type of sympathy given to them. Otherwise, they're just some spoiled rich kid. But no, if they're a trans or if they're gay or if they're whatever, some type of discriminated group, then they can get sympathy from people. That shit blew my mind. That makes so much fucking sense.
Well, when Jordan Peterson first started talking about compelled speech and compelled use of pronouns, I remember people thinking, like, why do you care about this? This is like such a small issue with a marginalized group of people. Like, let them have their identity and use the pronouns they want. And, you know, this is like, what was it, 2015, 2016? And I remember his warning, and I remember many other people like, this is going to spill over. Like this, if you can enforce this on a professor, and if you can enforce compelled speech, because Canada doesn't have the same free speech laws we do in America.
Yeah.
And if you can, like, where does it go? How are you compelling it? Well, it means through violence, or through police, or through the fear of being arrested, the fear of having your job taken away from you. Like, this is literally what happens when you use laws to compel people. Like, you have to have some sort of a punishment if they don't follow through, if they don't follow your orders. And this is what he was worrying about. And I remember at the time being like, I hope he's wrong. Like, I hope it doesn't get that big. But now here we are, 7 years later,
yeah,
and he was right.
Because there's also a difference between telling people they can't say something, which is what free speech suppression usually is, and that's bad enough, but then telling people that they have to say something.
Yes.
Compelling them to actually say something, putting words in their mouth and telling them you have to say this. And it's not pronouns. It's not a small thing, because when you use the she for a he, you're not only being forced to say something, but you're being forced to affirm and acquiesce to a claim that you don't agree with. You're being forced to express a belief that's not yours. I mean, it's it's not much different from a dictatorship forcing someone to profess belief in a religion. It's forced conversion, basically, is what it is.
Yeah.
And
like, I don't know if it's really forcing someone to believe something, because like if someone says they're a girl, then I believe them that they feel like a girl, but I don't believe that they're actually a girl, because they're not. They weren't born with the ovaries. They weren't born with all the genetics that women are born with. So technically and biologically, they're not a girl. But I do believe you feel like one. So I get what he's saying. Kinda. I feel like he should have went into it a little bit more.
Once you allow that, it doesn't matter. Of course, it's going to start somewhere small. It's just pronouns. It always starts that way. But like I said, it's actually not small. Pronouns there's a reason why the left makes a big deal out of it. So anytime people on the right say, well, it's not a big deal, in response to the left making a big deal about something, well, they wouldn't be making a big deal about it if it wasn't a big deal. And the fact that they're choosing this hill to defend should tell you that there's something here worth fighting over.
It's like, it's not even like they're defending it. It's like they're just keep on pushing and they keep on pushing. Like, I feel like most people on both sides were like, okay, you want to be a girl, if you was born a boy, then by all means be a fucking girl. But now it's got to the point to where they're like trying to shove words in your mouth. They're trying to make you lose your career. They're trying to make you lose custody of your kid. They're trying to put you in jail if you don't completely go with what the fuck they say and talk how they tell you to talk. Like they have some position of power over you just because they woke up one day and they were like, I feel like a girl. You know what? I'm a girl now, and everyone's got to call me a girl. And that's one thing, especially whenever there's people in this world that go from like genders to pronouns to they change their shit constantly. I saw this one video where they was talking about how on the weekdays they're a guy and on the weekends they're a girl. Like, how the fuck does that even make sense to you? How do you feel like a girl on the weekends? There's no way you feel like that. You might see some incentive to it, but there's no way in hell you feel like you're a girl only on certain days and you feel like a boy the rest of the days. It's so fucking ass backwards.
My kid was going to school with a girl who was a they them. She decided she was a they them, and she demanded that they talk in they them way. Like,
which
you
doesn't
had to
make
use
sense
when you were referring to her as a plural. This girl wore makeup, dressed like a girl, just decided that she was a they them,
Which
and would get
doesn't make
angry
sense.
if you misgendered her.
Like
And
at least with the I'm a boy and I feel like a girl, that makes sense because there are a lot of feminine men. In the same way with I'm a girl and I feel like a boy because there's a lot of masculine women. Not a lot, but there are some. What the fuck is a they? How do you feel like a they them? How do you not feel like a certain gender? Just because like it doesn't even make sense on how you feel like a fucking gender. It's like I don't have nothing else to say to that. It just doesn't make sense, you know. There's not even a way to construct a sentence around what the fuck they believe because it doesn't make sense. I feel like a they. What the fuck is a they? You feel like a group? You feel like a fucking cult? Like what do you feel like? You don't they is not a fucking gender. Neither is these or fuck whatever. Like man, it doesn't make sense. Y'all just made up a word and you're like, that's what I feel like. It doesn't make sense.
calling her a plural.
Yeah. And what does that mean? So we
Right.
have enough of a problem getting someone who identifies as a woman to tell us what a woman is, but
Right. What's a they?
yeah, what do you like? Describe to me the feelings of being a they. Describe, can you describe that? What is that experience like? And anytime you ask someone to do that, it immediately descends into incoherence. And also, by the way, the actual gender neutral pronoun for an individual is it. It's not they. So it's interesting that nobody wants to be an it because it's dehumanizing.
Offensive.
Right.
Yeah.
They want to be a they. But yeah, if you're calling yourself non-binary, you have dehumanized yourself because human beings exist in a sex
That's
binary.
what it is. They don't want to be called an it because it sounds demoralizing, but they want to be called a they because they're not just one person. They're multiple people that live inside this fucking head, and that they should be just as respected and cared about as a group of people. They're not just one person. They are many people. If someone wants to please elaborate for me in the comments on what the fuck a they them is, and tell me what kind of feelings come with it, and tell me why it's different from being a man and different from being a woman, I'm all ears. But me being a logical thinker and trying my best to put myself in their shoes, I have no idea what it could even possibly mean.
And female. If you're rejecting that, you are rejecting your human identity, and so you've already dehumanized yourself. You are actually it. If it's true that you are not a male or female, then you are an it. We don't know what else to call you.
Honestly.
And then maybe more importantly, one of the things that you're doing when you're doing that is you're giving people, especially if you do it to young people, you're giving them an opportunity to be special and to get special treatment without any special act. They haven't done anything that warrants that unique behavior.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. I think that's actually so much of this that and people don't notice it, but a lot of this is just standard narcissism.
Yes.
Especially you listen to these, why is this so common among celebrities now? All the celebrities have trans kids and they're coming out as non-binary and whatever else. And then you listen to like Demi Lovato or whoever, and
that makes so much sense. All these celebrity kids who can't outgrow their parents' shadow are doing this so that they can have some type of sympathy given to them. Otherwise, they're just some spoiled rich kid. But no, if they're a trans or if they're gay or if they're whatever, some type of discriminated group, then they can get sympathy from people. That shit blew my mind. That makes so much fucking sense.
You listen to them explain why they're they them. It's always, well, I don't identify with these labels. I'm beyond that. I'm above that.
Like what do you?
These labels were good enough for billions of humans before you, but it's not good enough for you.
Oh God!
You can't find yourself there. But all these other billions of human beings, it was fine. They had no problem. But you're so special that we need to change the rules of the English language for you specifically.
Right.
It's incredibly.
We need to stop coddling people.
It's bizarre. It's like if you feel that you're different than everyone else, you're still a female. You're just a different human being.
Oh God!
Happens to be a female.
I don't think anybody feels the same as anybody else.
Prove it with your work. Prove it out there in the world. But to demand this very special attention, and that's what we give people. Like if you give people that thing today, they'll tell. There's groups of people that will tell you you're amazing, you're incredible, you're beautiful, you're
just
brave.
for being in the group.
It gives them positive affirmation for making these decisions.
It's so culty.
It's also part of what you're describing is personality, right? I mean, so if you're saying, "Oh, I'm a female, but I don't identify with girly things, and I don't like the color pink, and whatever. Okay, that's your personality, and it's fine.
Yeah.
There are many ways to be a woman. There are many ways to be a man. There's like almost infinite ways of doing it, because each man and woman has their own personality, their own perspective of the world, and that's fine. So I think that what I'm expressing is more the kind of traditional idea is much more expansive, because it allows you as a man to just, be who you are. You're still a man, but be who you are. The idea now is that if you're a man, but you
like the color pink,
you have interests or ideas that fall outside of the standard norm, now you lose your manhood. You're actually a woman. So they're
and now
actually
you're a they,
reinforcing
them.
the gender binary.
That's what it is. If you're not an extreme man or an extreme woman, you're a they, them. You don't belong in either group, because you're not masculine enough and you're not feminine enough. It's that's so stupid. It's so stupid. I do believe that some people actually believe this, but I think most people do it unconsciously because they want to be victimized, and they want sympathy, and they want people to respect them, and they want people to be in their group, and they want to be a part of something bigger than them. And this is just such a welcoming community and an arms wide open community, a cult, I should say, because they just brainwash people. They bring them in with open arms and tell them, like, you got to be accepting, you got to accept everybody and love this and love that. Yet if you don't agree with what the fuck they say, it's fuck you, get the fuck on, you ain't shit, you were homophobic, you were transphobic, you need to go rot, you need to get killed. Like, there's some people that take it so fucking serious, they really think people need to die over this shit. It's honestly scary. It's honestly scary with how fucking brainwashed our society got in the past, 10-20 years since fucking the internet came out.
Destroyed at the same time, which is,
who knows, we probably was brainwashed before whenever it was newspapers and shit. We were just, at least we were all on the same page. Now it's like everyone's got their own little lane, everyone's got their own little category, their own little niche to be in, and now we're just so divided and we're all at war with each other. It ain't gonna look good, dog. It ain't gonna look good.
Interesting, but I think most of what they're trying to describe is actually just personality. Yeah. And now we have this situation where, you could have a person who has 5 different genders and 6 sexual orientations, but no personality, because their personality has been subsumed by all of these labels. They've categorized and labeled and everything, and it's really strange.
The art exhibit recently where the girls threw soup on the Van Gogh. You know about that story?
Oh, yeah.
They asked, someone was interviewing them. Oh, Patrick Bet David was interviewing them and asked them, can I ask what your
pronouns are? We gotta watch
are?
that.
And she said she was he, she, they.
He, she, and they.
I go, so you're masculine, you're feminine, and you're plural.
She's all of them.
She's everything. She's basically like a Hindu god. It's like, what are you?
This is just laziness. At least choose one.
It's just pompous nonsense. It's just, in that particular case, thinking that you're going to fucking cure climate change by throwing soup on a priceless painting and then gluing yourself to a wall.
And also, what does it tell you that the person interviewing her knew that she definitely has different pronouns? Yeah, you just know. It comes with the package, which
dog,
again,
man.
This is an ideological and political thing.
Hell yeah, that was a banger. I wasn't going to watch that because we already watched one of the Matt Walsh and Joe Rogan, but I hope y'all liked it. If you do, please leave a like. If you got any suggestions, any arguments, anything to say, please comment below. Give me a subscription if you fuck with me. And deuces. Oh, deuces.
I put in the work because I just want to get my mom's right on God's time. Yeah, and I'm gonna grind until we on. See all this pain, I let it live through all my songs. Was in that jam, ain't never been, ain't never fold. I caught that case, I did my time, I never.